People, we have approached the single digits. We are 9 days away.
There, Doc.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody calm down.
We're right there. We are at the finish line, or at least we can see the finish line before everybody gets their hands on Marvel Spider-Man 2 on October 20th. But it's rewind time, okay? Let's jump back for a second and look at the trailer that they released, that TV spot, the CGI trailer that we got from Marvel Spider-Man 2 just over a week ago. You know, I wanted to get to this breakdown sooner, but there was still a ton of news to talk about, and then I got a little busy considering I got my hands on a review copy of Marvel Spider-Man 2, but I still put down a ton of notes for my breakdown, so I wanted to go over that here in today's video. Let's start off with the fact that this entire trailer was done by Blur Studio. Now, you may not have heard of them before, but you've probably seen their work. They're the folks behind some incredible visual effects work both in video games and in movies. A lot of the CGI trailers that you see for games are most likely made by them. They do some of the stuff that you see for the Mortal Kombat CG trailers, and also they did over 10 years ago that unbelievably cool DC Universe Online cinematic, and that's still just one of the coolest things that DC's ever produced outside of the comics. Man, I really hope that DC movies and games make a big comeback over these next couple of years. I really miss the DC brand. Anyways, what were we talking about? That's right, okay, Spider-Man. So the trailer starts off with both Peter and Miles swooping into the city as they see that Venom is wreaking havoc, destroying a bunch of cars to get them out of the way as he leaps forward and grabs Peter and then slams him to the ground. And that moment clearly when Venom slams Peter to the ground is definitely supposed to be an homage to the comic cover of Amazing Spider-Man number 316. This is the first time that Venom had appeared on a cover for Spider-Man. Really awesome that either Insomniac, Blur Studio, whoever it was that had the idea to pay homage in this way decided to do that. I love when they do things like this. And I mean, Venom was smashing Peter into the ground similar to how you guys are probably smashing the like button on this video. And then we see Ben Jordan's Spider-Man. Of course, we know that the face has been changed in the Marvel Spider-Man games as of Spider-Man Remastered. Used to be John Bubniak, now it's Ben Jordan. Again, I feel like we have gone with this new face longer than we've had the old one, so at this point, we really should be moving on. And plus, from what they've shown in trailers, the new face does look good in Spider-Man 2. But yes, we see that Peter here is at the cemetery. He's standing in front of Aunt May and Ben Parker's grave, and clearly from his face, you can tell that he's still dealing with the grief of the loss of Aunt May. Marvel Spider-Man 2 takes place only just a bit under 2 years after the events of Spider-Man PS4, so that wound is still pretty fresh. We then get a shot of Miles in his room. You can see a Puerto Rican flag over to the left, but then on his nightstand is a photo that I believe comes from Spider-Man Miles Morales. The photo is of Finn, Miles, and then Finn's late brother Rick, who we know through the events of Spider-Man Miles Morales did die, and well, that's kind of the leading motivation for why Finn becomes the Tinkerer. And when you consider that fact, well, it seems that in a subtle way, that shot of Peter at the cemetery and then Miles at home are meant to parallel one another. Because all the same with Peter maybe still struggling with the loss of Aunt May, I imagine that Miles is also struggling with the loss of a close friend in Finn. But we then get this insanely cool transition of Miles sitting in his bed to activating his Venom powers and then springing into action as he gets ready to attack Venom. Venom grabs him with his tendrils and slams him against a car, and interestingly, this looks like a move that we can already perform with the symbiote for Peter from what we've seen from that PlayStation Showcase demo. I mean, towards the end of the section of that demo where Peter's shown off his symbiote powers, we see that part where he grabs like 4 dudes and slams them to the ground. So, you know, maybe they're just showing off in general some things that symbiote can do, which of course includes grabbing you with their tendrils. Then I believe we see a new gadget and a good up-close look at Venom as he, well, prepares for that gadget to blow up in his face. I believe from what we have seen in the open world trailer, since we have gotten a good look at the list of gadgets that are available in Marvel Spider-Man 2, that this is the concussion burst. And clearly the explosion from the concussion burst has some sort of effect on the symbiote. We see the symbiote flailing off of Venom's body a little bit there, so maybe this is going to be key to taking down Venom in the game. Venom chases Peter along the wall, and then he sends out the symbiote to then do a blast that that launches Peter off the wall and down onto the ground. And again, he does a symbiote move that looks similar to something that we can perform with the symbiote suit in Marvel Spider-Man 2 from what we can tell based on that PlayStation Showcase demo. There's that moment where Peter turns into like a big symbiote ball, groups a bunch of enemies together, and then does that same symbiote blast with the spikes to launch a bunch of people into the air. And I think that's cool that there are things that happen throughout this trailer that are supposed to reflect certain things that we can actually do in the game. Peter and Miles together say, never back down, never what?
Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Let's party! Let's go!
And then Venom charges at Peter, but right before he goes in for a strike, Miles swoops in to stop him, and holy smokes, what a cool shot this was. It cannot be understated how damn good the design for Venom is in this game. Because although this is a CGI trailer, take in mind that they are utilizing assets from the actual game. So this is how Venom is gonna look like. It's up-resed for the CGI aspect of it, but still, Venom is gonna look as good as he does here. As Miles is holding Venom back, Peter pulls out the iron arms and launches Venom into the air. And this is actually something that we can do in the game with Peter's iron arms. We saw this exact move performed in the open world trailer for the game. Miles jumps up into the air following Venom and does this giant blue bioelectricity blast, similar to the Venom blast that you can do in Spider-Man Miles Morales. We also see the blue bioelectric version of this move in that open world trailer. Peter then charges at Venom with the iron arms, sending him through a Daily Bugle truck, once again performing a move that we can do in the game. And yes, the open world trailer did give us a look at the in-game version of this move. Once again, I'll reiterate that it is really cool that this CGI trailer is showing off a lot of stuff that we can actually do. Usually when you watch these cool CGI trailers for games, you're sitting there being like, oh man, I wish that was something that I would be able to perform. And for the most part, that's not the case. Not that I hate that, but I just think it's extra cool that this move looks sweet in the CGI trailer and you can do it. And right before we get that incredible moment where both Miles and Peter say, I am Spider-Man together, they're standing tall, face to face against Venom at the end of the street, and Venom roars into the sky. He strikes a pose that's pretty iconic here and seemingly recreates a comic cover, specifically Ultimate Spider-Man number 35. Now, this is actually the issue where Peter becomes Venom briefly, so that's interesting. I know some people are going to take this and run with it, but honestly, I still think it would be insane to be misdirecting here at this point. This would be crazier than what Rocksteady did with Arkham Knight. We have Peter and Miles fighting Venom in this trailer. I just think it would be crazy if Peter still ended up being Venom in some way in this game. But I mean, again, Peter's fighting Venom here. And they ended up removing it from the actual trailer. Funny enough, they edited this out. But when the original CGI trailer released just over a week ago, there was one final shot of Venom walking up to the screen, looking directly into the camera and saying, subscribe to this channel and turn on those notifications. It was crazy. But that'll do it for my breakdown of the CGI trailer for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Was there anything I caught that you may have missed? Were there things that I missed that you have caught? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll make mention once again of the fact that I do currently have a review copy of Marvel Spider-Man 2. A special thank you to PlayStation Canada for providing that. You can look out for my official review for the game in just 5 days from now on October 16th. And with that being said, I've been Caboose, and I'll see you guys later.